Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. Now, last time, we looked at The Compleat Canon by Wallace Wood. This time, we'll take a brief look at The Compleat Sally Forth by Wally Wood. Both of these books were published in 2001 from Fantagraphics Press, and this is the second strip that Wally Wood created for the Overseas News from 70 to 73, about 2.5 years. And as I said previously, that this was a newspaper that only lasted about 2.5 years, was a weekly newspaper distributed overseas to U.S. military base exchanges, etc. And also, again, at that time, the military was composed primarily, almost exclusively, men, and so the comics were oriented towards that, and so these strips are just filled with female nudity and sexism, but they are still a pleasure to peruse, just for the some of the innovative storytelling, and wonderful art by Wally Wood. So this is Sally Forth. This was still, like Canon, a military-oriented strip, but it was humorous, and it does have a lot of humor, and with fun. It shows Wally Wood's a little funnier side that he had expressed frequently in EC's Mad Comics and later Mad Magazine, as well as and his great sense of adventure and adventure storytelling, action-adventure storytelling. So let's have a little look here. And of course, this is a thick, square-bound paperback volume, oversized, because this is the size of a regular-sized comic book. So it's probably the paper that they were originally published in was tabloid-sized in format, kind of like the National Enquirer, like that, and so it was it was probably originally published about this size or a little larger, which gave plenty, since each page was a complete page. This gave plenty of room for storytelling on that page. And we'll see here. And I said, this is just another warning. Like I said, this has a lot of female nudity in it, but again, nothing overly graphic. Like this. It's an artistic. Here is some of his pre-production sketches and stuff of Sally Forth. And last time I showed the cover of Heroes Inc. #1, which was actually published. Here was the rough for Heroes Inc. Presents #2, which would have featured Sally Forth in the co-ed Commandos, as well as Cannon and the Misfits, which was never published. And before he they was settled on this particular strip, he worked up samples of various others. Like here was the original version of Sally Forth WAC, Women's Army Corps, and it was just your standard strip format with humor, and so she winds up with getting naked a lot. But he also had come up with like a Lieutenant Cupid doll. And again, the same kind of thing. And Cupid doll, that's him right there. The little guy who looks like a Cupid doll. And all the soldiers and women wind up with their clothes torn off, etc. And some of the secondary characters in there. And I guess one of the others that it doesn't show here, but it mentions Wild Bill Yonder as a pilot. And for Sally Forth, all of these elements were combined into the one strip. So here we see, of course, by Wally Wood, and this does have the co-ed commandos, and Sally Forth and Cupid doll, or the lead features, also has Wild Bill Yonder, Kiki McCann, Sergeant, and Harry James. I guess he was a corporal then, and sergeant, and some others. And they are a special unit in the Army, kind of like the Dirty Dozen. They're the co-ed commandos, and here they're in their training. And Sally Forth, she has no special combat training or anything. Her main purpose is as being the nude girl in the middle of the action, but she is part of the unit. And here they are engaged in their training, and she's not the brightest and stuff. Then they get set on their first little mission, and they're under fire by some unidentified red forces. They're taking them out. They're kind of pinned down and says, and a lull says, "Okay, Sally, this is your time to take a bath." She takes off her clothes, goes out into the water and takes a bath. And they're ready. All of the enemy soldiers are clustered around the pool, gawking at her, giving Wild Bill Yonder the opportunity to come flying in with machine guns and missiles blasting, and blows them all to kingdom come. Then after the mission, it's cleaning up, and Sally has to do the cleaning up. Yeah, it's a very sexist thing. Their ship is coming to pick them up, and says, and Cupid doll, he is infatuated with her. Of course, everybody is, but she turns out she eventually kind of likes him as well. She says, "Sally, we need to." Said, "Look, it's a ship." Said, "Sally, we need to signal your blouse quick." But she takes off her top, puts it on the mop, and uses it as a flag. The guy says, "But that's our transport. It's coming to pick us up." Machine gun in the guy's face. "You were saying any opportunity to get Sally her clothes off," and there she is on the ship with all her clothes off. But finally she gets redressed, and they're on their way home when a periscope appears, and there's another needless excuse for Sally to remove her clothing, because she spends more time naked than clothed. And a torpedo is fired at, you can see it right there coming, torpedo heading right for the ship. No one spots it. Kablooey, the ship is sunk, and everyone's splashing around. And Cupid doll is using Sally's boobs as a flotation device. Oh, jeez. And they get in into a boat, and then here comes the submarine that attacked them, and they're all taken prisoner on the submarine. And the submarine is commanded by Captain Mino. That's Nemo spelled backwards, but of course he's mean, so it has double meaning. They're taken to the island that is his secret base. And has all kinds of verbal and sight gags, which I just cannot go into. Like the fact that Captain Mino, he has an eye patch, he's in an iron lung, has a hook for a hand and a peg leg. But it's a portable iron lung. And on the island, as the natives just love him, and of course all of the natives are all primarily gorgeous naked women, and so Captain Mino takes Sally forth into he's got all these weapons. He plans on taking over the world, etc. And he shows her all the stuff. And here's my special rocket. Says, "Oh, it's this is." It sure is big. Oh, that's just for show. The real rocket is inside. Now we'll see who's crazy. And inside is a standard old-fashioned type rocket ship, Flash Gordon type rocket ship, and he gets her into the rocket, into a spacesuit. He's using her to test the rocket, and goes, "Help! Help!" And she is blasted off into space, crashes on. I said, "But there it is, Mars. It's awfully close." She lands on Mars, crash lands on Mars, boom, boom, and she comes out and sees the first Martian. Said, "Kreps no Kaputi," and says, "You are from Earth, are you not? My name is Snork." Now, this is when she meets Snork. Snorky becomes a recurring character. Now, I said in canon he had a character based on himself that looked just like Wally Wood. Snorky here is a character that also, because he has the googly eyes, he looks just like, even though he's an alien, he looks just like Wally Wood. And he is a proxy for Wally Wood thereafter, not just in the Sally Forth. Snorky is used by Wood in other things as well. Takes Sally to the Martian city, and finds that they need help. They've got this machine that they had a big trash problem, and they had designed this. It's a cybernetic organism type machine. It's like a tank to eliminate all the trash. Well, it's eliminated all the trash and is now eating their civilization out of house and home, eating everything. And of course, they got lots of robots and stuff, and another excuse for her to be naked while they do some tests on her. Then, back on Earth, the rest of the commandos are captives of Captain Mino, but knock out the natives and to get free. And there is Sally, and still naked, and she wanting her to help combat the thing. Ultimately, she brings the thing back to Earth. The commandos are wind up getting free, and then the thing is the dread monster thing is used on Earth to help eliminate all the trash congestion and pollution, etc. And that's as far as I'm going to go. It's got a lot. It is funny reading. It's got a lot of, as well as nudity and sexism. It's got a lot of humor. As I said before, verbal and sight gags all through the thing, and it continues. Eventually, here's something with a big monkey, big ape, and eventually, where is it? See if I can find it quickly here. Oh crap! Now I can't find it. Oh, little vampire thing. Where's the jungle guy? Come on. That's the King Kong parody. Here it is. A Tarzan-like jungle guy. So this is probably the closest we've ever seen, at least I have ever seen, to Wally Wood actually doing Tarzan. And it looks, so we see just how he would have done Tarzan. What's neat here is, got the Jungle Man, and here is, this panel right here is a tribute to Frank Frazetta, because that is based directly on the figure is based on Frank Frazetta Tarzan cover. And lots more silliness and nudity. And Captain Mino is a continuous threat. So that's all I have to share with you this time with The Complete Sally Forth by Wally Wood. And then, so like, share, subscribe, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of Wally Wood's Sally Forth. Have you read any of it before? Again, this was one, I think it was published by Eros in the 80s in some traditional floppy comic book sized book. And remember, comics, woo! Comics are art.